Come on, let's do it. I feel like I'm cheating you guys tonight. I'll tell you why. Give me a second. Well, it's Wednesday at 7 p.m. I just got in from mowing the field. You know, I've got those 2 American chestnuts I put in very young. They're less than a foot tall, about a foot. So I'm trying to keep the field mowed around them. And I'm leaving for the weekend. Well, Saturday, we're playing down in Long Island for the Ward Melville, not for, after the Ward Melville 75th high school reunion. We're playing at Country Corner. I don't even know who's going to come out. We're starting at 10:30. I think everyone's going to be tired and hammered. These are really old people, by the way. They're a year older than me. I was up last night, pickle in the garlic scapes. I got 3 jars of these in the fridge. Makes me very, very happy. So the point I'm trying to make is, again, it's a time crunch. I want to get everything done before we leave for the weekend Saturday and have the show ready so I can just hit publish. So why I say I'm cheating you, and by the way, I'm in my rattiest t-shirt. The Bean gave me this. It's ripped. It's threadbare. These are the ones I like to mow in, especially when it's hot out, okay? So the reason I say that is I'm heading straight to the shower. So not a lot of on-camera cooking tonight. I'll tell you exactly what we're doing. We're going to make, or I'm going to make, some bean and cheese burritos. Who doesn't love a nice, big, rolled-up burrito? And this harkens back to an earlier episode. I was talking about Best Buy dates. When I get back from Long Island, I'm off on staycation next week. I'm home all week, Monday to the following Monday. So one of the things on my agenda, among many, is a full clean out of the pantry, all right? I did that as an episode, I don't know, over a year ago, I think. This one won't get filmed. Once is enough on that. But I am fully cleaning out the pantry, so then I'll really go through everything. But I think this is the last and final Best Buy 225.25. So time to get rid of it. Right? It's already 4 months, right? February? Yeah, 4 months. But again, that's a Best Buy date. These are canned goods. It's not an expiration like on a carton of milk. So, perfect way to use it. And I am not going to cook on camera. I'm going to saute some onion, saute a little red bell pepper, throw in my beans, a little stock, cook it down. I'll go out, I'll get some fresh cilantro. I'll make a salsa, tomato, onion. I guess I'll have to use a little of this in that too. I don't have any jalapeno. I like a nice little spice in my salsa, but I do not have. But that's okay. I got a new thing of plain Greek yogurt. Gonna have a nice burrito tonight. So what I'm gonna do, before I get in the shower, because it's about 20 minutes, I'm gonna put the rice on, I'm gonna put the beans on, and then I'll go shower. And then when I get back, we'll take a look at them on the stove, but we'll just assemble a burrito, put it on the griddle, dress it up. That's going to be my supper. It's going to be kind of a late supper at that on a Wednesday night. So I'll see you after my shower. All right, out of the shower, 8 o'clock. I know it's super rude. I'm drinking out of the bottle, but no one else lives here. No one else will partake. This is what mowing that field does to me. Seltzer, plain seltzer. All right. Beans are done. Rice is done. I chopped veg for the salsa. Let's move the camera up top, see what we got. I'll give you a little insight as to what I did here with the beans. We'll throw the salsa in a bowl, assemble some burritos, and get to it. All right, the beans. Right out of the can, you saw them. Onion, red bell pepper, sauteed it off in a little extra virgin olive oil. I added, one thing I forgot to mention, I added about a tablespoon and a half of tomato paste. Season that with salt and pepper. Dumped the can of beans in. I rinsed them. But then I left a little water in the can, dumped them with the water, added more water. I think I mentioned stock in the beginning. I didn't bother because it's all frozen. No lack of flavor. Cumin, smoked paprika, salt and pepper. That's all we need. And then I just ran out and grabbed some cilantro. I told you guys the cilantro is just going nuts out there. So we have enough to put some in here. And a nice bunch for the salsa. Now if you look, it's starting to already begin to, well, it's not flowering yet, but the big flat leaves turn into almost like wispy, ferny kind of leaves. That's when you know it's going to start going to seed. And what I did, after the beans cooked for 20 minutes, I took this spoon and I just started smashing them down, right? They're like refritos. And if we do a quick QC on this, they are amazing. Really good. And that's that can of beans. February 25, gone. Nothing to worry about. All right, let's go over and throw our salsa together. Oh, the rice. I almost forgot the rice. 15 minutes. Turned it off. Rest for 10. Perfect long grain white rice. I'll fluff that up with a fork just before we make our burrito. Let's do the salsa. Simple enough. I chopped everything up. Tomato, onion, red bell, and cilantro. Now, this is, I told you the reason for this. I'm leaving for the weekend. Not for the weekend. We're driving down Saturday. We're doing a Saturday night gig. We're driving back Sunday. But I'm off all next week. So what I wanted to do was use up what I had in the house to the best of my ability. And then I'll shop when I get home next week, because I told you there's going to be that pantry overhaul. So normally with a salsa like this, I'd use a red onion, I'd use a jalapeno, but this is what I had in the house. Right? Your white onion, in fact it was already cut. I used some of it in the beans. And the other reason I forgot to mention at the beginning of this that I wanted to do these is I had my friend Lisa here for the weekend. She lives in Colorado. She was driving a trailer for her business. Well, she's been working in Vermont for 2 weeks, and she was returning the trailer to Virginia by way of Delaware. So she rolled in. She was on the road for like a week and a half. So she came in with all kinds of food in the cooler. We were trying to eat what we could. She took what we could and left me a ton of great stuff. And along was this bag of Mexican-style 4 cheese. So perfect for our burrito. All right. Let me wipe this down a little, and it is assembly time. As soon as I get this off of the griddle, I will turn that heat on under the griddle. All right, we'll get that warmed up while we put this together. Let's clean the surface here a little bit. Get our tortilla down. And start with some white rice. Fluff it up a little. Well, I was going to use that, but you know what? I don't want to discolor it too much because it might be used for other things if there's leftovers, right? Fried rice, rice balls, you never know. But I made this much because I'm going to use for dinner tonight. And I'll take a nice big burrito for lunch at work tomorrow. That's why I made that salsa. Probably only use half of that. All right, rice. That's too much rice. Burrito. All right, that's good. Oh, the rice came out great. Refritos. Leave half for tomorrow. And cheese. Mexican 4 blend. I'm going to be generous because I don't make burritos often. Hoo, hoo, hoo. Taco Bell. Goodbye. All right, here we go. Let's roll it up. up, ends in. I gotta squeeze it. It's a little overfilled, I can tell already. Ends in and roll. And squeeze tight. Let's try that again. You got to get these ends in. There we go. So when you roll, they fold in. Tight, 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 tight. There we go. I'm going to get that right on the griddle. Seam side down. Let me bring the camera over there. And get myself a plate. Oh, excuse me. I'm going to turn this camera off while that's on. I'm going to shred up a little lettuce because I have so much lettuce out there. All right, I am back. Give this a flip. I'll give that a rinse and a chop while we do the top of the burrito. Oh, I thought it was going to be, I was out there running around, I thought it was going to be a lot more well done. So I'm in good shape. Let's see how the top's doing. Cheese is melting, I can see it. Not a perfect burrito fold, but it's not necessarily bumming me out. All right, let's give that 30 seconds here. I'll give it 30 seconds on the other side. Meanwhile, let me move this camera back and let's plate this beauty up. Now, I don't usually think of lettuce with burritos, but I'm trying to use up as much as I can, as quick as I can, because that first round seeded in March is still fantastic, but within a week or two, it's going to start getting bitter. I have a second batch growing right in the tomato beds because the tomatoes will shade them out. But rather than putting it on top, we'll just make a little bed to place our burrito on. That's the red leaf and the green leaf. A few leaves of each, washed, shredded up, ground to face. All right, let's get this burrito on here. Turn the heat off. On our lettuce. Nice color on top. Salsa. Half tonight. Bring the rest to work. With another burrito, which I will roll up before I hit the sack. Now, maybe I'll roll it up in the morning. Why not? Everything's done. Everything's ready. All right, that's about half the salsa. I got some brand new plain whole milk yogurt. I don't even think... Yeah, this is not the Greek style, which actually is better for this. Sour cream, if you have it. I don't buy a lot of sour cream. I buy it for specialty dishes, but I always try to keep plain yogurt in the house, especially when those cucumbers start coming in. Raita. They just popped out of the ground. And to top it off, I'm a big fan of Frank's. I'm at the end of a bottle. We get the various boutique hot sauces. Somebody gave us that mule at work. It was great. But it's been a while since I had a good old bottle of Tabasco in the house. A nice size bottle, not that little dinky one. There we go. Brand new. Just picked it up on the way home from work tonight. So let's just drizzle the top with a little Tabasco and dig in. Bean and cheese burrito, because we did need to use up those beans. Let's get on in here and get a little lettuce. Oh, I haven't had a burrito in a long time. Oh yeah. There's no way I'm gonna cut this. Well, let's see. Maybe I can just use my fork. Get one more bite. There we go. Perfect. And the thing is, let me take this bite and then I'll tell you what was on my mind. Fantastic. The refried beans, you gotta smash them down with the spoon. Now, what I was gonna say was, those were my first 2 bites, and I got the folded end. Now I'm getting to the inside, and that's where things are packed in there. Mucho flavor. And you get the end, it's mostly flour tortilla. Now I'm getting to the good part. I'll see you all for the next episode.
Come on, let's do it.
All right, it's Friday morning. Got to get to work. I'm going to bring some lunch. But I wanted to pop on real quick and mention this. You guys know me by now. I never purport to be an expert on anything here. I don't try to tell you what to do. I'm just cooking my meals, sharing them with you guys. If I feel like I pick something up along the way and I can pass it along, I do that. And here's one of my problems. I just winged it. I just banged out that burrito. Wasn't looking anything up or books or any of that. And then what I tend to do is after the fact, remember how it wasn't a great roll? After the fact, I tend to look up how to roll a burrito. Okay, and many sites, videos, whatever you want to do, suggest warming the tortilla. Duh, should have thought of that myself. Softens it up a little. Could do it in a toaster oven. I'm just doing this. I've got to get to work. And then I did see an alternate roll. So come on over to the cutting board here up on the marble. Par for the course, right? I don't know what happened. Either I didn't hit record, then I'm fumbling with the phone. I don't know. But I guess that's the episode. I took that flour tortilla off that griddle, warmed up. I did a whole demo on a different fold where you fold the sides in first and then you roll instead of top over, sides in, roll. Honestly, I don't think it matters. I don't think any of it matters. The warming, nothing. Those things are pliable enough when they come out of the package. The folding thing, as long as you get it tight, listen, it's food. You're gonna eat it. You know, I'm not a burrito shop. So I gave it a try. Tried to show you guys the alternate method. Bumbled with the camera. C'est la vie.